Welcome everybody to your official Around the Ring Battleground recap. It's your boy, your Floyd and Savior, Floyd Johnson, coming at you this morning. Woke up to recap what I would call a disappointing Battleground. I'm gonna go through the card match by match. It's not gonna actually take very long because I wasn't very impressed with the show in general. It's just another lackluster show from SmackDown. I have an overall theme of what I think the problem is, but we're going to go match by match. First, we got Aiden English versus the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. As you may remember yesterday, I predicted Ty Dillinger would win this match. As pointed out on my group, The Club, Aiden English probably needed this win more because he was going into the level of obscurity, and he did get the win with a surprising pinfall. I actually did not watch this match. I made a run to pick my sister up and come, so I showed up right when the main show started. I wasn't interested enough to go back and watch it. Good job for Aiden English. I mean, I think he's like 1 in 100 or something like that, but congratulations on getting his win. So we start with the main show. This is the first match I did see. It's the Usos versus the New Day. This is for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Well, anytime a title match starts the show, you have a feeling there's going to be a title change. It's just the way the WWE has booked in the past. They like to start with a big moment. So if you book a title match in the first match, generally it is changing or there's going to be some kind of moment with it. Actually, very good match between the Usos and the New Day. If you watch Up, Up, Down, Down with Xavier Woods, you will know the new Usos and the New Day are pretty tight. They are pretty close when it comes to off scenes. They hang out a lot together. So obviously you would think they're all very, very athletic. They have the chemistry to carry a match. The Usos did their... I love how they cut off the ring. They didn't really work the leg like they've been doing in the past, but I do love the attitude of the Usos, and it was a great back and forth match. We had a bunch of close pinfalls. Even at one point, they hit Xavier Woods with their super kick splash combo, and he kicked out. And they had this moment where Kofi did his trust fall that he's been doing lately, and the Usos actually caught him and powerbombed him. And the most of the match at that point, because Kofi was selling that, most of the match was Xavier Woods wrestling while Kofi was out on the floor, and he basically surviving. When Kofi came back and made the hot tag, he hit, I don't remember which Uso. I have a hard time telling them apart just because I'm not attention to detail person, but he hit him with Trouble in Paradise as Xavier Woods did his rope walk elbow, and he scores the pin. And as pointed out on a video afterwards, after the 3 title wins for the Usos, for the New Days, your boys, this is the first time Xavier Woods has gotten a pinfall. Then I think this is the first time Xavier Woods was a part of the tag team that actually won the match. I think both of the other times it was Kofi and Big E, and even though they do the New Day rule where they can switch out. They can switch out the wrestlers. Kofi and Big E are always the primary tag team. So they went with the speed tag team, and they got the win. Congratulations to Xavier Woods. They also pointed out that in WWE history, the most decorated African-American athlete may be Kofi Kingston. If you don't count WCW, I would agree. If you do count WCW, Booker T, five-time WCW champion. He was also a world heavyweight champion in the WWE Tag Team Champions on multiple occasions. I think over 10 times with Harlem Heat. I know Kofi's had a lot of different tag team partners, but it looks like, So if you're just going WWE, I think it's Xavier Woods without a doubt. But I think Booker T has him if you count WWE and WCW. So the moment, New Day is your new tag team champions. You're ready to hear their promos. SmackDown WWE Tag Team Champions of the World. They rock the red, white, and blue gear. Definitely a shout out to Apollo Creed They're in the city of brotherly love. They really did try to build this pay-per-view up as a patriotic show. So we got a lot of 80s themes in this one. But this match was just very new, very exciting. Classic Usos versus New Day. And it's literally my only A match of the show. Now we go to Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin. I can unfortunately say on this match, let me talk about the match. The match was very lackluster. It was very, there was not a lot of action to me. It was just kind of boring. And I mean, even Baron Corbin broke out the bear hug. I don't have a problem with bear hugs. I love 80s wrestling. I love the slow down method of wrestling. But it just felt like you got these two guys that are big and strikers. And it was just like, it was just boring. It was just boring. I mean, I've been watching New Japan Wrestling all week, and I have to say, and I'm not one of those people that, oh my God, New Japan is the end-all, be-all of wrestling. If you're not New Japan, you're not anything. No. I think the WWE can put on great matches. But in this case, you have these two, what you would consider big physical guys. They're very physical wrestlers. And it just didn't, I mean, the match didn't come off as physical. I watched a match with Ishii, and I forgot the other guy's name. He has blonde hair. But it was a very physical match, and at one point they're just trading elbows and forearms. And I just was like, this is what, you know, while watching Nakamura and Corbin, I'm like, this is what Nakamura and Corbin should have been. It should have been a very stiff type match, almost like I remember Matt Hardy and Edge when Matt Hardy came back from Edge cheating on the Lita scandal, and they just had this stiff match where it just looked like they were knocking the hell out of each other. It doesn't have to be every match, but these two being that big and physical, and your strikers, you really have to sell and drive home the fact that they're hurting each other. Well, the end result of this match was Nakamura was going for his suplex, and Baron Corbin lifted up his leg with a good old nut shot that actually looked pretty painful. I know it isn't, but, you know, because of how the leg hooks, he didn't actually hit him in the area, but it looked really painful. It looked really good, and then he hits him with the end of days, and you can see him kind of smiling. There was just some the moments of this match. I give the match a C. There wasn't a lot of good moments. I love Baron Corbin's roll out to the outside, go around the turnbuckle, come back in and do the clothesline. I just think that's super athletic. But yeah, the match wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what was needed, but you have a match where Corbin doesn't take a pinfall, Nakamura wins, quote unquote, and we set up going into SummerSlam. I was right on that, but I thought Nakamura would get the clean victory, but hey, I'm 1-1 for the night. So actually, yeah, I'm 2-1 for the night because I didn't call the pre-show match well. Then we had the Fatal 5-Way. Fatal 5-Way to me was a very exciting match. And I wouldn't call it exciting, but it was a good match. They played up the fact that Tamina's going to be Lana's heavy from now going on, and you can tell. And they played up the match, but when they finally did decide to start giving pinfalls, they just happened so quick. It was like, Becky taps out Tamina, Becky taps out Lana. Becky taps out Tamina, Becky taps out Lana. Natalya pins Becky really quickly, and then it's Natalya and Charlotte. A surprising ending of the match. Charlotte goes for the moonsault. Natalya gets her knees up for her stomach. Then she does a move where she catapults Charlotte's head right into the bottom turnbuckle, and she gets the pin. After the match, Mrs. Glow herself, Naomi, comes up into the ring, and she goes to shake Natalya's hand, and Natalya walks off. It's setting up a match, Natalya versus Naomi at SummerSlam. I'm actually kind of excited about this match. I think Natalya, for all the work she's done for WWE for a lot of years, she deserves a moment. She deserves a moment at a big pay-per-view. Brooklyn. I think she goes over Naomi, and I think Carmella cashes it in on her. And I mean, but I do think Natalya does deserve that SummerSlam moment, and so it is kind of cool. It is kind of cool that she gets it. I definitely I gave this match a solid B. I thought they did really well. It was just some good action. Again, a friend of mine pointed out that she should have been on SmackDown. I completely agree. To me, when you're trying to drive home how important the women's division is, I don't think you should have too many pay-per-views where the women's title is not being defended. I mean, she could have defended it, but hey. Next match we have is the match I was looking most forward to, was AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. I don't know what it is with these two. I love these two. If you know me or listen to me, you will know KO and AJ Styles are 1 and 1A as far as my favorite wrestlers. And depending on the day, you can avert to 2. I have 6 KO shirts. I have 6 AJ Styles shirts. I love them both. They don't seem to have a lot of chemistry. I mean, their matches are good. But when you're talking to me about 2 of the top 5 WWE competitors, I feel like their matches should always be great. I think they should at least be as good as AJ Styles, John Cena, Kevin Owens. But we didn't put on that type of match. We put on a very, very normal, basic, I'm not trying to steal the show match. And even the end, it was like I wanted to see more high impact moves. Maybe, and I know they don't do the kick out of the finishers gimmick, but we got a situation where the way it ended, it was KO kind of got a roll up while Styles had him in a crossface, and KO won the match. It was just, I want KO. I mean, I picked AJ Styles to win. I have no problem with KO winning. KO is one of my favorite wrestlers. He is better with the United States title. I mean, a prize fighter without a prize is kind of boring. So I was hoping this sets up AJ Styles in the Jinder Mahal, maybe fatal 4-way type of match at SummerSlam. But having KO winning is all important. But it was just a very lackluster end of the match. Disappointing match. I'm like, to me, anytime these wrestlers should wrestle, A- should be like the least they should get. I mean, it didn't even tell, to me, the match didn't even tell a great story. So it was okay. It was kind of boring at points. So I give it a B, but I'll give it a C because I expected more. Flag match, F for flag and for actually having the match. It was boring all the way through. This is a 1980s gimmick where if you're not from America, you suck. I don't even know, has America ever even had a problem with Bulgaria? I have no problem with Rusev having pride that he's from Bulgaria, and then saying Americans are stupid. Well, a lot of us are, and Donald Trump's our president. So I try not to get too political on this show because it's not my thing. But you come on. I mean, right now, if you have an America versus any other country argument, I'm generally going to be on the side of the any other country. So we look at this match. Very boring. There's this very horrible moment where Rusev's trying to plant a flag and Cena's right under him, and they're struggling as he tries to flip the flag, and it was just bad. It was just boring wrestling. It was completely useless. John Cena, congratulations. The announcers were really trying to build this up as an exciting match, but no one in the crowd was into it. After he won, everyone in John Cena shirts were celebrating, of course, because they're John Cena fans, but still no one gave a fuck about this match. I mean, no wrestling fan actually cared about this match. Then we got Sami Zayn and Mike Kanellis. You want to talk about, you go from boring to you don't know what they're doing with Mike Kanellis. Again, I'm not going to go into it again as far as I'm not going to go into it again as far as all the things they've done with Mike Kanellis, but you hit this point where Sammy about to hit the exploder. Maria gets in the ring, right? So they stop it, and it looks like they're about to do the same finish as SmackDown. But Sami Zayn reverses the move, gets him back in the corner, and hits the exploder again. the thing about it is, the haluva kick is such a specific move that it has to hit in a certain situation. So I'm like, I like to think that people use logic when it comes to wrestling. Well, it's very easy at this point for Mike's in the corner. Maria just pull Mike out the ring, right? So he doesn't get hit with haluva kick. Maybe the referee decides to throw out the match and DQ him, but that makes better for a better storyline than Sami Zayn just hitting the haluva kick and winning the match. Mike Kanellis is going to have a very good chance of going to obscurity if they don't find something for him. Maybe I thought I had an idea of maybe Mike Kanellis, Dolph Ziggler, and Maria all being a thing, since the WWE the SmackDown kinda needs another tag team, and he can get lost in the singles. I gave this match a C because that's just generic. Punjabi prison match. Okay. This was very well done as far as a storytelling aspect. The match in itself is a clusterfuck. It is not made to be exciting, but having the Singh brothers and it basically being 3-on-1, my whole thing is you got 3 grown men versus 1 man, and they can't hold the dude down enough to let Jinder Mahal escape. I just thought the whole match was hard to believe. It was a lot boring. We got the return of a former world champion, as when Randy Orton looks like he's climbing over the top to win it. Jinder Mahal music hits, and out comes the Great Khali. He shakes the fence. Randy Orton does something pretty athletic where he's on the other side of the fence, and it looks like he could just fall, because if he falls on the other side of the fence, he wins. I mean, and WWE probably didn't want that to happen. So he jumps over the fence and then manages to fall on the other side. Great Khali chokes him while Jinder Mahal climbs out the ring. There was a good spot when one of the Singh brothers from the top of this Punjabi prison goes through the announce table, and that was a pretty good spot. I mean, they're getting a lot of time on TV because of the whole Jinder Mahal thing, which is cool. Jinder Mahal retains the championship. On the Mahal, his wrestling style is boring. So I had the thought process doing the show that he probably should work a style based on his move to Colossus, where he works the back the most of the match. The reason I say that is because if he does that, it gives the face something to fight back on. His wrestling style is very generic and very boring. He's a very big guy. Maybe they can even push the fact that he's super strong or something. But right now, his wrestling style, there is no style. He just kind of strikes and attacks and is naturally aggressive. And to me, I think a big part of wrestling is developing what your style is. And so if you work the back and just focus on the back most of the match to set up for the Colossus, I think a lot of people, it sets up a lot of rest holds and a lot of things where, it doesn't matter if you use rest holds or not. I mean, not everyone has to be exciting, but it makes the comeback a little bit more exciting. Now, there were some good kendo stick shots in the match, but this match is a main event. I rate an F as a match. Hey, I mean, it drove home the point of Jinder Mahal being the champion. So I give it a D or a C. It looks like we're going to get John Cena versus Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam. I'm hoping we get some kind of a multi-man match. Jinder Mahal versus John Cena versus AJ Styles. I don't even know who the fourth guy would be. But I'm just hoping at some point we get a multi-man match for that title, just because it just looks, right now, it looks double. It just looks, the Mahal versus Cena, nobody wants to see. Neither one of them are very exciting. I would definitely be on Cena's side right there, where he says he needs somebody he can work with. Because I don't think Mahal's that guy. I don't think Mahal's that guy to put on an exciting match. But with WWE being on this kind of 80s kick right now, I wouldn't be surprised if John Cena comes back and wins the title, and then Baron Corbin cashes in on him immediately. All I gotta say, I'm just not very excited about the prospect of John Cena being the 17-time champion and having a record. I guess records are meant to be broken, but I'd rather it not be by him. But it's not my decision. I feel like the last 5-10 years of my life has been waiting on John Cena to retire. So hopefully it looks like we're on the downslope of his career, and I just won't have to deal with him anymore. Overall, I give the grade on this pay-per-view a D+. And we had an A match and a B match. So to say D+, it was just boring. I mean, a lot of times I was either zoning out, talking to a friend, ready to go to sleep. I just was not into this pay-per-view at all. I was like really sad that I skipped Game of Thrones because this wasn't worth missing one of the best TV shows on television for. It just was an embarrassment from what SmackDown was to what SmackDown is now. It's pretty pitiful. I would say this: it's funny how when The Miz leaves SmackDown for Raw, the show goes from SmackDown being the best show to Raw being the best show. Just think about that. I think The Miz is way undervalued as far as what he brings to the show. His excitement, his beef with Daniel Bryan was new and edgy. His promos on Smack, talking smack, and he was just a heel that's needed. KO, while he's good on the mic, he is not as brash and outlandish as The Miz during the ring. So he's not really the heel that people need right now. They need a much bigger KO. Just again, coming from a Kevin Owens fan, I have his face on the back of my phone, so I'm a very big fan. So I don't talk bad, but I think they need more from Kevin Owens as far as the heel persona. The whole Jericho thing was great, but I think he really needs to drive it home. He needs to have more cutting promos. He just needs to be a bigger force on SmackDown. Because when I thought AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Dolph Ziggler, I'm thinking, man, SmackDown is the wrestlers group. And now we're at a point in time where it's just like I don't remember the last time on SmackDown we had a great wrestling match. So, but that's it for this Battleground recap. The next pay-per-view we have is SummerSlam from Brooklyn. I will be doing at least part of my show and review from Brooklyn because I will be there for the NXT show and the SummerSlam event, and then I'll be heading home. We're looking forward to the next week on Around the Ring. This will be the 30th, the day of the 30th. On Around the Ring, what we'll have is me, my friend Jason Threat, and my friend Jeffrey Snell. We'll be covering the week as Dave is still on assignment. We appreciate everyone that takes a moment to listen to the show. And Dave will be back August 6th. And again, we'll have Daniel Rube on the phone. Daniel Rube with us as we count down the road to Oklahomania, which is October 7th in Ardmore. Well, we thank you for listening again. Just remember, life's a work. Don't forget to kick out at 2. I always mess that up. It's my catchphrase and I mess it up. Life's a work. Don't forget to kick out at 2. We'll see you next time Around the Ring.
Hear the drummer get wicked.